And so now here's the question that that I'd like to start with is, what is the struggle when we're specifically talking about sales training, sales enablement? What is the specific struggle that is happening out there?
So thankfully, all the sales training I've conducted, I have been in the role and did it well. So while I never put myself up as the expert in a training, I bring that background and the participants respond to it. But I feel like there's some level of I haven't done it, so I steer clear, which leaves it to the individual lines of business. And these subject matter experts may not be trainers. So yeah, I feel like there's so many different things that kind of contribute to like what makes it kind of scary. But I just got a role where I am not tied to a specific line of business and I get to see how we need to build a program that would allow their subject matter experts working with the trainers to develop some content that really would be very similar across like all lines, but no one in the line realizes that because they think their sales is so unique.
Yeah, you're right. And I have yet to work for or with an organization that doesn't believe that their sales is unique. And even though it's sales is sales, right? And your product may be different and your product knowledge programs may be different, but the methods are not that terribly different, right? And I agree with you. I think I see from a, sh- a struggle perspective is a, a lot of salespeople, they have a lot of great knowledge and a lot of great experience. And so we put them into that place of leading, learning, and they may not necessarily be the best person for that. So that brings up a good question. So how are we bringing sales subject matter experts into the training world so that they can do it successfully, so that they can present their content and really do ensure the exchange of knowledge? So how are you helping them with that? How can we help with that?
We've been experimenting with something that's just basically a pitch tank where people record their pitches, and then it's on video. They have 30 seconds. It's like an elevator pitch. And then they can look at themselves and see, are they delivering the message with all the value propositions added? Are they stammering on it? Are they confident? Are they authentic? And then, it's a private group, so nobody else can see it, but it's that core group, and it builds community with them as well and helps build camaraderie. Is that the right word? Because sometimes in sales, depending on if it's commission structured, all that, sometimes you can't get a community, and your best salesperson isn't always helpful to those who need some tutoring because it could affect their paycheck. So it depends on how you're doing it with pay as well, if that affects them.
I see. So other salespeople don't want to share their particular secret sauce.
If it's a commission-based organization, sometimes they don't want to do that, because if I'm the best salesperson and I teach you how to sell sofas as well as I sell them, you might get in on some of my territory. And that's the
Or they
downside of full commission, because then it's hard to build community in that environment.
And Donna, if I'm commission only, you're gonna take time out of my day to record this video when I could be making money?
Exactly. So doesn't mean you can't get them to participate, but putting them in a leadership role. And you've seen that too, where a really good productive salesperson is sometimes promoted to management, and sometimes the good salespeople aren't always the best leaders, shall we say. This is a safe space, is it?
Yes, absolutely. And I think that we would all agree with that, regardless of department, that happens all over the place, right? But I think you're bringing up an interesting barrier to success, which is when we're trying to compete with the salesperson's wallet. So I love the idea, Donna, about the 30-second videos with the pitch tank, because that doesn't take a whole lot of time. And you're not really giving anything away, as far as, knowledge, or you can still say, this is my area of expertise without giving away your secrets to perhaps other people within your organization, maybe. Yeah. So I love that idea. What other ideas are you all using to help balance that? Because it's a big balance. And Kelly, you have a lot of experience in sales, working with salespeople.
Well, I had it in the past at some of my other companies, and then I went into compliance training, and I've been doing compliance training. Now I landed back into the commercial organization. So it's it's somewhat new still to me. Like I have not gone through our advanced sales training, so I don't even know what techniques they're supposed to be using. And so that's kind of like, for me, I came to this because I want to know how people, is there a secret sauce? Are there techniques? Are there things that we can do? And so so this is the type of forum. I do know that, Shannon, what you said about you're competing with our wallets is true. Our salespeople aren't just selling, but they're also doing patient support, and they're in the operating room. We're a medical device company, and so you're not just competing with their wallet, you're also competing with patient care, and so it is challenging to get that time. And like I had no idea what windshield time was. Like they kept talking about windshield time, and I was like, what the heck is windshield time? And
What does that mean? I don't know that term. Is that like sometimes you're
Go
the bug
ahead,
and
Ebony.
sometimes
Do
you're the
you want
windshield?
to define
Ebony, you
windshield
want to
time?
talk about what windshield time is?
Yeah, especially for those organizations that are close enough that you don't fly to different locations, but you stay in the car.
Ah,
So like you get a lot of windshield time. Some people say wheeled office.
Right. It's the drive time. It's the time in the car is what it loosely refers to as windshield time. Haven't heard that term in a while, but yeah. So Todd, do you have experience dealing with sales teams?
I had a feeling you were going to call on me. Yeah, yes and no. A lot of my primary background has been designing a lot of multimedia training and e-learning specific type stuff that can be more process related or tech detailed. But I'm now coming to work with a large commercial bank right now, and I guess the call center contact team also does sales. So I'm trying to pick up as many tips here as I can. But I wouldn't say I have a vast background in it. I'm really just kind of a sponge here right now, and I want to sap up as much wisdom and experience that everyone else has to help me with this new project. So,
Well, I think thank you for that. And I think it's important to identify that there are a variety of different types of sales. So you have the sales that you're talking about, Todd, over the counter type of sales where you're depending on cross-selling and upselling of different product to a person who's already there or is already in your ecosystem. And then you have those that are dedicated salespeople who are out, they're doing the cold calls, they're following up on leads, right? They're pushing the new product out to the market. Two very different types of sales. Beth, I'm curious, welcome. And what is your background and what are your thoughts behind the topic?
Yeah, so I am in this role. I have not been in sales, so I concur with everyone's thoughts that it's hard to build trust when you haven't done this. In fact, there is an atmosphere right now that one of our senior leaders has never been in sales, so there's some animosity towards even that.
Oh.
You haven't walked a mile in my shoes. How dare you set expectations? All those kind of pieces. So we have a very experienced sales group of 200 or less, and they know what they're doing. They claim to know what they're doing. Our go-to-market strategy has shifted since January, and they still, the thought of them going through training is beneath them because they've got it, and they're successful. So it's not broke, why fix it? So I'm kind of with the others here. I'm trying to, and much of what we do is, to your point, Shannon, the old stuff. We haven't really renewed a lot of what we've done. We've launched a lot of training this year, but it has been mainly on demand, so people can do it when they have their office days. But we do the role plays, and we still do a lot of it how we've done it in the past. It gets decent reviews, but doesn't have an injection of new stuff. So I'm sort of here to listen. I was hoping somebody would have the silver bullet. Donna, we have Brain Shark, so we have tried the video coaching, have had limited uptake. So trying to find a group right now that will grasp that concept and have a kind of a pilot, so that we can say, look at how awesome this is, and they can tell their friends and have that peer group. So trying to find those ideas, but loving the conversation. So thanks for asking.
Mhm. You're welcome, and thank you for that input. Trust is something that is huge in regards to sales and salespeople themselves. I hesitate to say, because I really don't like generalizing. In my experience, I'll just say it like this. In my experience, I find that salespeople are a little bit more cynical sometimes, because they're in that role of seeing all sorts of different people in all sorts of different environments. And so they can see it coming. They see the bullshit coming. And so now it's, how can we build that trust? How can we be more authentic with them? And just letting them know we're not putting them through these sorts of exercises just because, that's what we've always done.